How's it going, ladies and Bruces? I'm Bobby6Kill and welcome back to What Remains of Edith Finch. Now, in the last episode we left it just before we did Milton's one, and that is what we're going to kick off with right away. I don't think we've got too many more to get through. Let's see what we got here, shall we?
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Okay. He's making a door. Well, that's awesome.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Okay, fascinating. Sorry about that cut there, but just got a phone call. So, where are we going now exactly? Down again?
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
That's when she sealed the doors, huh? Out.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
There's monsters. I knew it was a horror game. Knew it. Okay, nothing around here. I like how it's kind of funneling me in the right direction, regardless of where I'm actually going. It seems to keep me going in the right way. Up here? Haven't been up here.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Is a boat sticking out of the fucking wall? What is this, Willy Wonka's chocolate factory? This place is so weird. Alright. Okay, we got a big hookah in the middle here.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
His stench. Awesome. Right. Let's do this.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Okay, we are
working at the cannery,
chopping fish's heads off.
but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior.
This is an easy job.
His mind began to...
I want that. Can I put my arm through it? What is this thing?
wander.
The fuck?
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth.
Ah,
He'd feel his
confused.
way about.
this way? Ah, dead end. Anus. Yeah, I'm pretty good at multitasking right now. Oh,
When
fuck.
something moved.
Then I walk into a
Bats.
wall. Up there, you fish.
And toads.
What's through here? Can I go through this? No. Oh.
And things
Dinosaur.
that have not names.
Whee. Am I meant to
He knew
still be
it was
cutting
all in
fish?
his head,
Ah!
but he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
Oh, red carpet. I'm up on that. Whee.
But he found something more.
Oh,
I worried about him then,
isometric.
daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis.
I can fish and
So I
daydream.
let him go on.
Fish choppy daydream. Whee! I can't even see the
encouraged
fish.
him.
Oh, they're there.
It seemed very promising
Eh.
at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Doggy.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
Lewistopia. Owned.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick.
Out of my way, drum guy.
Then he made musicians.
Dude, we're a badass knight. Like mage thing.
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something.
This is trippy, man.
Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
This might be a boring job, but it's pretty easy. Easy money.
He held an election for mayor. And he won.
Of course. Mayor
They
Lewis.
begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
I vaguely remember this bit too, from the trailers. Away!
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on.
Do I stop here?
New Louisville.
New Louisville.
St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
Careful, 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 get a crash.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Hi. Then put her arm through the thing. Are you a fish? Who knows? I'm just cutting blindly whatever I get put in front of me.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
Handsome queen, beautiful prince. Handsome queen.
handsome queen.
Interesting terminology. If I called my wife handsome, I don't think she'd be very happy about it.
The queen was on her own quest for
Sinister serpents. That sounds more
sinister serpents.
fun. Sinister serpents. Look out. Whee!
He followed the sound of her
Electric guitar. Gotta take that one. This is awesome.
electric sitar.
Electric sitar. Sorry.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
Cool.
Even then, his logic remained sound.
This is so fucking in-depth. Holy crap, the whole fish thing's nearly
He
gone.
knew the world was all in his imagination.
So many fish. So many fish. It's the handsome queen.
But he was
Fuck
so
off, fish.
proud of having created it.
Can I open this door with the fish? There we go.
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
This is the best one yet.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Good on you, Lewis. Well done.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Okay. Now what?
He began to forget the world we know.
This place is huge. This place would stink like ass.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Gross. Not into dead things. Don't like dead things. Very squeamish.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
We're gonna kill ourselves. Boo!
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Whoa.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
Thank you everybody, thank you. Thanks for coming out tonight. I shall be your new
including the
hero.
wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
I love this. Maybe it's a little bit too close to home. I know the feels. Working boring ass jobs. Monotonous bullshit. Know the feels.
His queen waited, holding his crown.
Yay.
There was only one thing left to do.
Get rid of the other. Milton. The cannery worker.
Bend down his head.
Oh shit. Oh shit. I just realized what's happening.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Fucking Jesus. That took a turn for the worse.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
I was liking him too. Man. That got dark real fast. I mean, this is all pretty dark, but still. Fucking hell.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
I thought you didn't like this place.
But I understand why we left.
Well, yeah.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Trying to get away from the curse. The death. Don't want to fucking hang around here neither.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Where are we going now? What's up here? Are we up in the weird
But it had to
toppy
end
bits?
one way or another. All that's left now was to tell you about that last night.
Edith. But haven't we got more to do still? We still got Dawn, our mother. When are we gonna do Dawn? Be a seat in the house.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Okay.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That wasn't so hard. Too many entrances and everywhere in this place.
The thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
History of the Finches. We're gonna go deeper.
Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time
Oh my
I
God.
ever saw the old house aground.
We're gonna get to see the house.
There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Very hard to see.
Turned around.
Which way are we going? We need that blinking red light.
I started seeing things.
Dropping balls out here.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But
Dave?
when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
We made it. I like how there's a fence out here under the water. Or where the water would have been.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine!
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go!
Give it here, lady.
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car, and I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again.
Jeez, Mom.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot.
We
both tried to make the best of it.
Nyong. I used to do this as a kid too.
A few years went by.
Words. Words.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you.
Huh.
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Indeed.
This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it.
Why?
I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself.
Are we being born?
But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Whoa. But we never found out what was causing it, or whether the curse was the thing. I need to know stuff. And we never did the thing for Dawn. Ah. Can we do the thing for Dawn? I guess not. Alright, well, that was short, but fucking amazing. It was really, really good. Especially Lewis's one. Lewis's one was fantastic. Very interesting, although I wish it had cleared up a little bit more of the stuff I feel like I wanted to know about everything. But I guess that's just the way it goes sometimes. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I'll let the credits run through as per usual. And I'm not sure what we're going to be doing in the next series, but guess we'll find out then. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I'll see you in the next series.